What is up, you guys? Fellow mystery hunters, YouTube. We are here in Strawberry. I always hunt and look for clues about one of the most important things I come to realize that could mean something about graffitis and stuff. I've been looking into graffitis, tattoos, trying to catch their meanings. I've gone into sacred geometry. I've bubbled up so much stuff and understandings about things that when I come to realize it's a possibility that they could be in this game, because nothing, as I say, nothing is discarded, nothing is too absurd, no theory is too far-fetched. I don't know how much time I got for this because I'm under a hurricane right now here in Puerto Rico. I just hope I can make this through. And I want to talk about, there's a new show added in Grand Theft Auto now. Ron's a new talk about Ron's show, and he's mentioning something about the wind farm, that it's a massive antenna to spy on people. And here is when I come to this part right here and look at this mural right here, because there's many theories about this. I saw this Ron thing talk host in Dibbits Gaming's videos and about this mural and its theories and stuff about the Kraken and stuff. I've seen this of music video. I'm a big follower of this mystery hunters channels, because they on some stuff that I don't know if people, I think that most of the stuff, like, again, I don't discard anything, but as for this mural, we can see that there's like a big monster here, right? And then we have like some sort of type of spaceship shooting lasers to this monster. Then we have the UFO, and then we have Vinewood sign. Now this right here, the example I can give you guys, like, let's say the Mount Chiliad mural, alright? We have a 2D representation of the Chiliad mural in Mount Chiliad, right? And here in the alien camp, we have a 3D representation of the mural, which one of the boxes is to the side that is not viewed on this mural. This is a 2D representation which have 5 boxes, and this is a 3D representation that have 6 boxes. Okay, so now this mural, this painting right here, this artwork right here, you can see on this corner there is like some sort of smoke coming out. You see it? It could be a palm tree, I'm not sure, but to me it looks like smoke. Then we have the radio antenna up there and Vinewood sign. Alright, then we have this big ass monster here. Then we have the UFO and what it seems to be a spaceship. Now this is a 2D representation of this area right here. The monster is the wind farm. Now the UFO, awkwardly enough, I cannot find a location where to place this, but the closest location is this house right here that has that alien banner where it says welcome, and we can find a space part here. Okay, no, wait, this is the farm, this is the house right here. Okay, this is the house where it has a banner with the welcome, alright? And this mural right here is a 2D representation of that. Now when I saw that talk show, as you can see, there's more smoke right there. Let me see if I can clear that box out of the way. There's more smoke. Darn it, nope, it's too heavy, I don't know why. There's more smoke coming out of there. Okay, but now the problem is I cannot figure out how to place this, because we look at it from the front, and we go to that part over there. We're going to see that this is the 2D representation of that. Okay, so the Kraken, what it appears to be a monster, is the wind farm. Now when I saw that talk show, I went crazy because Ron says that nobody was talking about that. Okay, now I'm gonna jump over there because I want to explain something. I got that on a previous video that I talked about the wind farm, that the ones that are off have the red light off and the ones that are on have the red light on. So to me it appeared to be binary, but again, I cannot explain how to place that mural in a 3D representation because the mountain is up here. So if the monster could be the wind farm, okay, because there's like it amps up, but from what I can see of that picture, just that monster, just like from right within the map, it looks like the same kind of monster with the tentacles down there, like I showed it in that picture. Now let's get airborne here right quick. Garage. And then we have to change this to nighttime. Midnight. Let's keep this on a clear weather, and as you can see right off from the ground, the ones that are on have the red light on and the ones that are off have the red light off. So to me, in my mind, like on, 1, off, 0. All right, so it could be a binary code, but I talked about this in a previous video, and I can't still work this out, because if you start off here in this wind farm and you follow along the road, you're gonna see that it's gonna be 1, and then we have 1 again, 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 1, and this is where it becomes mixed up after this last wind farm, after this last windmill right here. This is where it becomes mixed up, because the roads, we get an upper view and get higher. As you can see, we can start here 1 0 1 1 0 1, and then it gets all mixed up. So I cannot pull. I have no sense of how to follow the road and pull out these 1s and 0s if it's that, because what Ron mentions in that talk show that was newly added on this DLC is that this is a massive antenna to spy on people, but no one talks about this. So when I heard that off in Dibby's videos, I just went crazy, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I was talking about this not long ago because of that mural led me over here. And when I come and take this from an airborne perspective, I began noticing the red lights with the ones that are on, and the red lights off on the ones that are off. So I mean, it could be binary code or some sort of pattern. Maybe we have to draw a line. I don't know what to make of this, but I haven't come up across anything else that, apart that it could be a binary code well hidden in here, on, off. Regarding of that idea about the T1 tunnel, about the lights, that it could have been on, off, 1 0, or it could have been a binary code, a string of a binary code here. But it was just some dude that well, it wasn't fact. I mean, he just made it up, and apparently it could be some sort of Morse code, like how the boats communicate, turning on and off the lights. All right, like for example, SOS in a light pattern, in a Morse code kind of way, but in light. All right, it could be that. Dibbits plays that theory, and I went and took a look at it and went online and googled some stuff about it, and it's not far-fetched. It could be a light Morse code there, but how to break it down, how to extract it. Now we have here this wind farm Now there's a talk show here about this wind farm that was newly added in Ron's talk show. That mural back in Strawberry, and there's a lot of graffiti mentioning Strawberry. That's one of the key places I keep my focus around. I keep my focus around on here, and I mean that's just like wow. And I mentioned this a long time ago in one of my videos. I think it's Wind Farm Binary and iTunes update, something like that. And but again, I just try to follow this road right here and try to follow the road as it goes. It going ones and zeros, counting out, and then I just get lost. It's a total random pattern. I can't figure it out. I can't get nothing out of it. I don't know if it is a binary code, but going by the ones and zeros by on and off, it could be not, but I did talk a lot about this a long time ago, and I hope now this gets a little bit more of attention now that it's been put in Ron's talk in a newly added Ron's talk show, and even on the story mode. So I mean, it is not far-fetched. There's something here that hasn't been figured out, and Rockstar just threw that in and pointed it out. Alright, I talked about this way before long about that. Right next to the power station. I mean, something goes on here. And another peculiar thing I managed to notice off of this, the train online, when you're playing online, if you come online and you stand here in this train station, the train stops here. And on the story mode, the train does not stop at all. So why would the train make a stop here on the online and not on story mode? Is it telling something? And it's the same when you do the heist in by the train manor, when you go underground and you extract the gold by helicopter. You need to steal a train with the sky crane and set it up. Alright, then the train, you have to divert the train. Where's the construction site? Here. You have to divert the train in a similar shack like this. There's a shack here, and you divert the train, and the train diverts here, and it stops here, and then you have to come and pick it up with a sky crane and set it off in the Sandy Shores airfield. Okay, now there's another thing I managed to caught off of the exact same control panel is up there. Okay, and we have this same control panel here, and by the power plant. For what reason? I don't know. Maybe the train diverts inward, but the road leads to the back of it. So what is it with this place right here? And then we have this smoke, because the smoke is the only kind of smoke that could be a representation of that mural I just look at. Okay, but there is something weird going on here now. Rockstar just mentioned it. They put a Ron talk show about the binary here, about this is a massive antenna that it's being used to spy on people. It could be a metaphor for something. It could not be exactly that, because they put things like in a double sense, but off of the mythology, there is something physical on the map itself, and I proved that with the eye chain. All right, we have the eye chain here in Sandy Shores, and it's off of a mythology that regarding a flood. Okay, and then this god king survived along with his sister, and they repopulated Earth. Then Fushi was on a river, on the Yellow River, and a water dragon appeared to him and revealed the 8 trigrams to Fushi, which we can find here in this tattoo shop, which I don't think we can go in, but we can always use our camera and we find this right here on Sandy Shores. You can see there the I Ching and the 8 trigrams right on top of the tiger. This has a lot of symbology, a lot of meanings, as well as the tattoos. Because you ask, if you find somebody in real life and he has a tattoo, and you ask him, why did you got that tattoo? There's always a story behind each tattoo. Now, the thing is, we cannot, we don't have somebody to tell us a story off of the tattoo here. So I'm trying to build up where I'm finding these tattoos and what these tattoos could mean off of the books, because of creatures of myth, because of a lot of things I keep going about and researching off of the sacred geometry, even the chakras, because we have meditation, we have yoga here having to do with his chakras. Even Michael's wife's mentioned that Michael has his chakras blocked. So there's something off of the mythology that is physically on the map, but I just can't see everything. I mean, I just happened to find this, and that was it. Now, because of Strawberry looking at that mural, what I come to realize that monster could be is the wind farm. And it kind of looks like a monster from here, but where to place the UFO, the only way I can place the UFO is here, because we have that welcome banner. The smoke, I don't know, the smoke is streaking in the corner, which I mentioned. It could be the power plant, the smoke in the power plant. Okay, I mean, again, we have a 2D representation of the Chiliad mural here, which has 5 boxes with 5 axes, and we have the 3D representation of that mural here, but it does not have 5 boxes. It has 6 boxes. So something that's missing on the 2D can be found on the 3D. There's a lot of representation. There's a lot of stuff that comes from a 2D to a 3D representation of it. So again, sacred geometry teaches that. Sacred geometry teaches that out of a 2D pattern, when it becomes 3-dimensional, and even of the cast of the shadow, we can get more information out of it, more clues, more stuff. So that's what I'm trying to hunt after. Trying to figure out some stuff. I just went through an area that nobody has gone because of a lot of stuff I'm seeing on this game that I'm like, why is this here? Alright, so if we come here, we have waypoint. If we come here, we're gonna have this we're gonna have a store named XYZ store. I'm like, wait a minute, XYZ is basically the pivot points you can find off of a 3D program when you're dealing with 3D models and stuff, and when you're building stuff. Here we have it, XYZ store off of sacred, on top of a sacred geometry pattern. That is sacred geometry up there. Alright, sacred geometry. Here, sacred geometry on top of this building. Alright, this here is sacred geometry. So I'm like, wait a minute. Alright, so XYZ is the axis which you can find stuff on the 3D program. I don't know if it is exactly that. Alright, now I want to point out something else that I managed to find here. I'm trying to be as quick as possible because I'm getting rain right now and wind. So we go back to that tattoo shop, and I found out that there's this. Let me see if I can catch it here. I hope so. We're going to find an alphabet in there. I think I can fetch it off. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible that it's visible. I'm not sure. Yeah, there it is. Let's see if we can zoom in, because I cannot go in this store. Alright, there we go. You see this alphabet right here? If you come and take a closer look to this alphabet, I'm pointing this out because I did some stuff and I found something that I was like, wait a minute. there is a lot of swirls in the game, and awkwardly enough, all of these letters that contain a swirl, all right, the T, the M, the Y, the S, the most highlighted letters that pop out, the ones with the swirls, the ones with unique design on them. And when you take out anagrams, you start playing around with anagrams, I come up with the words, I can't remember right now. This was so long ago I was doing this. I lost all of this because of my freaking computer. But the word, I'm trying to recall, what was it? It's something toys, and it says something about toys. Now I started looking all over the map, and I found out that there is, because what the I Ching also is telling me is that off of the research I've done about Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, he's the father of cybernetics. He's the one that compared the I Ching to his binary code. I mean, I'm looking for a code in the game. There's got to be something that concrete that it's hidden in the game. Now we have toys here, as you can see, and there's like a star right in front of it, awkwardly enough. Okay, so toys, there's a lot of references of toys in the game. Like, for example, this one right here, we have toys here, we have toys down here. Where is this plaza? You come off here, you come off here, it should be here. We have toys here, we're gonna have toys on the location where we're going now. There's a lot of swirl pattern going on in the game, so I'm trying to chase that down. There's even swirl patterns that you can fetch off the air. There's swirl patterns that I've come across that they come out of the very, when you do the symmetry and mirror some of the sections of the map, swirls pop up. I'm like, what? Then we have here Thor's toys again. Alright, and I found this in a weird place with some weird numbers, and this is something that's gone unmentioned. I don't know if somebody knows about this. Now I hope this gets out and you guys can know it. I came across accidentally, I was just playing around, and when I looked up, to my amazement, I'm like, what is toys doing here? And there's numbers here, and there's a lot of ways of how binary codes can be hidden. Okay, so we have this astral theory right here, right? And we have the already neurotic toys. I'm like, huh? What is toys doing here in a theater? Okay, so we can find that off in Vinewood. We can find that in Thor's toys. We can find that off of the anagrams I pulled out in that Sandy Shores letters thing. I started playing with anagrams. Something toys came up. I'm not sure what this was so long ago. Again, I mentioned we have Los Santos 2020. Maybe that's the big release of how, if Rockstar is gonna launch a story DLC or not, if they're gonna ever expand the game, if they're gonna ever add more cities and make this like the original San Andreas, adding San Fierro, Las Venturas, who knows. But here, this tattoo shop, it's not clear. I keep aiming and people keep screaming. There, we have the happy face and the sad face right there. I've been seeing this off of tattoo shops, and everything, like in the tattoo shops again, everything has a meaning. Then awkwardly enough, I find an arrow there, and it looks like the arrow from the previous Rockstars. What is your problem, dude? Jesus Christ. Knock my hat off, man. Dude, lay down. Okay, so then, oh man, people hear you. So we find this arrow here, we find these colors here. I mean, most of the things that you would not think that there is something behind it. Around the street, we can find the mime, alright? But back to the toy stuff. here we go. There is something off of here, and this numbers here is some form of binary code, because I've researched binary code, and not to have a long string of binary, we have 8 to 14 modulation, and then we have a lot of other forms of binary. We have the octave, we have the hexadecimal, which is most of the coding that we can find inside of the codes of the game. I've been able to have look at that. We have hexadecimals, all right. We have octals. Those are different forms of compressed binary. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at math, but from what I can see here, all of these times are not like I don't know. They're totally like kind of random. It is not like, okay, this movie shows this time to this time. This movie shows this time to this time. This movie is, why is there 3 numbers for each theme? Okay, neurotic toys we have 3. Los Santos we have 3. With Simeon we have 3. I played around with the octals. I broke it down into a binary string. I try to translate it and I just keep getting errors and errors and errors and errors and errors, and I don't know. I just can't pull it off. As well as the vineyard. Like the vineyard shows. Some guy off in Reddit showed that it looked like data from a CD, so I started looking. So it's this thing called lands and pits, and every change between land and pit we can get a change from 1 to 0 and 1 to 0, and no change at all is a 0, and a change between land and pit is a 1. So I try to start looking onto that, but there's no telling how to do it, because the lengths of the vineyard are inconclusive. I did a lot of stuff on that. I couldn't get nothing out, but here we have something else. It could be octal. I'm not sure if it's a hexadecimal. I've played around with this a lot and haven't gotten nothing out. Try it out, see if you can get something. Not sure, but again, binary has different forms of interpretations as long as the technology has evolved. Not necessarily it has to be a long string of binary, but it can be compressed onto few numbers so that when it reads, it's just like shorter, and it saves more space, yada yada yada. There's a lot to read about this. I wouldn't stop talking about that. But as always, keep on hunting. There is something big out there.